So tonight we're back in the home garage and our goal is going to be upgrading our workbench. As you guys can see, it's a pretty standard workbench. It's got the 2 interior shelves, metal doors, solid top, it's been coated. We also have our vise on it. But the thing that we would like to change is we've got a set of wheels similar to our Husky cabinet, and that way we can not only bring up the working height, but also be able to move it. So a few things that would make it a lot nicer to have wheels is the ability for us to roll it around for specific projects. If we're working on stuff, we don't really have a lot of table space in here. So the ability to roll that around in our garage is great. And also when we want to sit our table saw and different stuff like that on top, we can kind of roll it outside of the garage, and that'll keep a lot of the sawdust and different stuff down that we don't want on all of our stuff in here. So the bottom has got a little bit of a reveal on there. And so what we're gonna do is basically make a cart for this. It's not gonna be permanently mounted, but the workbench itself is heavy enough. So we'll build it to fit right in there, and then we'll add our casters. So it should raise it up to a similar height as those wheels. All right, so we've gone ahead and cleared everything out. Another reason we wanted to get this up off the ground, even though the floor in here isn't level, depending on where it is, if the center of this gets too much pressure, sometimes these doors tend to not slide as easy. But we'll go ahead and clean those tracks out. And once it's sitting up on the frame, it'll have nice level pressure throughout the interior of this. But as you can see, top is in good shape. It's been sealed. But yeah, let's go ahead and pull this back and we will flip it over so we can get our measurements. And as you can see, having this lifted up will give us all the room we need to access in there. And someone was trying to make a house, so that will keep this off the ground and prevent that in the future as well. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this all the way, bend that back edge back straight, like this front one, and get it started. So we also got this backpack vacuum from Milwaukee. I absolutely love it. It's super, super convenient. My only complaint is that the battery was basically the same price as the vacuum itself. But at our shop, we used it a ton. Easy to clean around the press and all that stuff without having the cords going across the shop. So we like it. We've had it at home for the basement project. But yeah, definitely approve. Battery life lasts quite a bit too with it. And it's got 2 settings, so you can have it on high or low. I always just run it on the higher setting, but yeah, happy so far with it. Pretty sweet, but definitely battery's basically the same price. So be prepared to get yourself a nice battery. But now we have this battery, and then it uses the same one that the table saw came with. So yeah, just stocking up. I do wish that there were adapters to have plugs for some of these tools, but right now we're definitely happy with how it's working so far. So let's go ahead. We've gotten this all cleaned up. It is now ready to get our first cuts made. I've got the saw in the basement right now, so we're gonna have to carry the boards down there to make the cuts, and we'll bring them back up, get them in place, and go from there. All right, so we've gotten our measurement for the width, and that's gonna be 55. And so we made a mark on our 4x4. All right, so we've got our scrap piece here, our original 55-inch one, and we wanted the depth of it to be 22 inches. So we're gonna minus the front and backboard, so that gives us about 7 1/4. And so we'll know to take 7 1/4 off 22 inches when cutting our cross member. All right, so we've got the 55-inch one in the front, our spaced out one in the back. That one is shorter, that's just temporary. That's getting us right about 22 inches. So once this is all mounted together, we're gonna have another 55-inch in the back, and then we can actually run, because we have extra, we can cut that down, make an additional one of these so we can have one in the middle and then one at the end. And that will be our cart, basically, to hold our wheels, which we have in the garage. All right, so we've got all of our boards cut. We've got our casters. We picked up all 4 swiveling and locking casters. I thought we grabbed 2 of the straight ones, but this will work just fine, if not better. So we'll be able to lock those in place, but we're gonna go ahead, lay these out. All right, so this is the basic layout, and we've gone ahead and set the workbench back upright so that we have a flat surface to do this on. We're gonna have the middle support, 2 at the ends, and then the wheels will be mounted to this section. We went ahead and moved to some 6-inch deck screws. We're just gonna run 2 in these on each end, and then 2 on the opposite side. All right, so we've got all 4 wheels locked and loaded on here. And so now we will go ahead and set these down on the ground and lift this bench into place. Like, I can lift the whole thing. Do you want me to just lift this end and you roll it under then?
I just don't even know where I would get a grip.
No, I'll lift it and then you roll it under.
Okay. I'm just gonna go as far as I can. It's a little crooked. Why is it crooked? On the wheels.
Oof. Well, it's just not centered yet. So, unlock those wheels.
I don't know if I can.
Why is it on the wheels there too?
I don't know if I unlocked it or not. Did this not work as you planned?
I have to go to bed now.
Remember I said you suck at planning?
Well, sometimes things don't go quite as planned, so these wheels are too far inside. So what I can do is build up either just blocks underneath where the wheels are mounted to get them past the frame. I thought the 4x4 would stick out far enough, but what's happening is the wheel locks are getting bound up. So we'll make just a quick adjustment on that, take all of this off and go from there, but that's gonna have to be tomorrow. So we will see you in the morning. All right, so we're back for plan B. And because this was not tall enough to keep these wheels out from underneath, when the swivel was going, these were clipping on the sides. So a simple fix. What we're gonna do is we are adding a 2x4 to the top side of this. So we tip this over to pull the cart out from underneath it. When we have it like this, we're just going to be running a 2x4 on each side, and that will give us the total of 5 inches that we need to clear the bottom. And we should be able to tip this back on and we should be finished. So we're gonna go ahead, mount these. All right, so we've got the top pieces added, and that should give us the clearance that we need to make sure that the wheels and everything stick out far enough past that edge. The reason we only did on the top part was our main concern, again, was with the front. When we set this on here, we want even pressure on that drawer bottom, and we didn't ever have any issues with the sides, front to back. That is a lot thicker metal, so we just brought up the front and back. That should be plenty. We're gonna set this in place, probably strap it to it so then we can just turn it as one piece. I wanted to make sure we try to keep as little pressure at any harsh angles on those while we flip it. But they are sturdy, they are mounted in, but no need to have them break off at this point. But yeah, so this is our overbuilt heavy duty cart for our workbench, which I definitely thought was lighter. So we're gonna go ahead and get that on there. All right, so we've got the cart in place. We tipped it over this way so that we could at least get our hands underneath, and we strapped the dolly in place. Alexa is not here at the moment, so I don't have an extra set of hands, but if it goes as planned, just like everything else in this project, we should be fine. But yeah, so again, our goal with this was to have that support run evenly. If the floor is not flat and this beam right here that was originally just the base is getting high pressure in the middle, makes it really hard for these doors to slide. But now they move, close, work perfectly. We put some garage door spray down in there, keep everything moving. But yeah, super happy. So we're gonna get our toolboxes back on here. But yeah, overall, I would say it was definitely a success. Really happy with how it came out. And now we can move on to using it for our next projects. I would like to build some type of stand that I can have our table saw finish at the same height. But again, like moving around for the different projects in the boat and stuff like that, we have a lot more flexibility if we need to move it to another side to get a different vehicle in. But yeah, so I don't know, next time maybe measure first, or at least measure once or twice instead of kind of having to redo it a little bit, but it worked. And if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again.